You guys were with the Yankees, a part of the infamous Astros cheating scandal.
Yeah, it's tough. That was like I said right after, I said that could have been my only shot of making it to the World Series, and basically it was. So, it's something that, those guys are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. I think they got off scotch-free. I think Manfred didn't do a really good job of what was supposed to be done. It's really not fair at the end of the day. So what are you going to do? Can't do anything about it now.
Hey guys, welcome on into Drinks with Binks. I'm Julie Stewart Binks, and I'm so thrilled today to be able to welcome in our first professional baseball player since we had New York Yankees first baseman Luke Voit on the show. You may remember, felt like 100 years ago, but it was still during the pandemic where we had lots of wonderful scotch. Well, our guest today was a member of the New York Yankees, also the Mets, the Reds, the White Sox, the Pirates, and now he adds Team USA baseball to his illustrious resume. None other than the Todd father. I'd like to raise a toast to Todd Frazier joining the show. Congratulations on making the Olympics.
Thank you very much, and I got my signature beer here for it, so we'll cheers to that.
Yes, okay, well, we'll take a sip. But I got to know about the signature beer. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so Tom Driver Brewery, right down the street from me, they just came about a couple years ago, and they said, hey, let's make some noise here and get a Todd Father beer. And I went through the whole distillery and taste tests and all that kind of stuff. And this is the first one of its kind. Pretty cool can. It's a Pilsner, 5.2 alcohol volume, and it sold out in the first day, which is pretty cool. A third of the proceeds go to kids with special needs, the Tom Driver Field of Dreams, which I'm part of as well, for kids to get out with special needs, old and young. And, we're doing some big things here in Tom Driver, and hopefully somebody can enjoy this on a summer night. So it's pretty sweet.
That's great. You've got a beer and you're also doing something to help the community. And It's already sold out. That's incredible. Yes. Well, I wish we were able to have that, but unfortunately I got this Labatt's over here, a little Canadian action. But you're going to the Olympics, which is absolutely incredible on so many different levels. Just how do you feel?
I'm ecstatic. I mean, I'm working out every day. I still talk to the guys on the team. It's crazy to think you could bring 26 phenomenal baseball players together that have no clue about each other. Maybe a couple guys know from playing with each other, and come together as one. You play for your country, and lo and behold, we're going to Tokyo. I kept telling the guys, listen, this is bigger than us. Let's just keep playing the game, keep enjoying it. And, for example, we got a guy like Eddie Alvarez who had a silver medal in speed skating going back. I mean, I could see the tears in his eyes. So it's phenomenal. I'm excited.
Oh, well, there's so many things I want to ask you about that. But with Eddie Alvarez, it is so fascinating. The fact that he did win a silver medal in 2014 in short track speed skating at the Winter Olympics. Now he's going back to the Olympics for baseball. What has he maybe said about what the Olympic experience is like?
Yeah, briefly, he told us about the village, how cool it's going to be with all the athletes together, getting to know other athletes, girls and boys, and the interactions that they have. He said it's the coolest thing in the world, and you get to ask questions like how they train and, how they prepare. And hopefully we get to go watch a couple of them, because he said he saw, a bunch of figure skating stuff and hockey and all that kind of stuff. He said, take away all the gear you can get, be ready, bring an extra bag just for that. So it's going to be exciting. I know we're going to be in that sort of bubble area, but hopefully the restrictions will let us, go out and watch a few events. I'm into gymnastics. My wife was a gymnast, and to see Simone Biles live would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you what event you'd want to see, because baseball, typically, since 2008, hasn't been an Olympic sport, and it's not really one of those sports you think of as being at the Olympics. But of course, Japan, it is absolutely massive there. Team Japan is going to be featuring one of your old teammates, Masahiro Tanaka. What do you think about going up against him in his native country? I'm
excited, just because I read a quote he did the other day and said, we're winning gold. So he's basically putting his foot down, and, little smack talking. So I got to text him here in the next couple of days and tell him, hey, remember, I used to hit against you too, big boy. So we'll see what happens. He's a great guy. Don't get me wrong. But, when we get on that field, man, we're not going to be friends that day. So, they're smart about what they do. They stop their major leagues. They get their best 24 athletes or baseball players, and they come together. But we got the grit, we got the toughness, and, we got the swagger. So we're USA. We put that shirt on back. We're going to be pretty excited to play them.
Yeah, I like when you say that grit and that toughness, because I listened to the Athletic Baseball podcast that you were on, and I found it so fascinating when you talked about just when you guys won the game to qualify for the Olympics, how, you didn't really have any video or analytics on the teams that you're facing, and manager Mike Scioscia was just like, go out there and hit the ball. And can you describe sort of like the difference of playing in this environment versus, a game 7 for the Yankees?
It's sort of like sandlot baseball, to be honest, per se. Like I said, you bring these guys together. You don't know much about the other players. I mean, you might have faced them here and there, but what are you really going to remember from the minor leagues when you've been playing the big leagues for so long? So get a bat in your hand, go up there, rub your cleats in the dirt. Go out there and try and win the game, because when you're playing sandlot, if you lose, you're not going to be playing that many games that day. So, backyard baseball, let's dominate the day, and who cares? I mean, that's how I go by. I've always been a hitter. I don't really need to see video that much. I'm just a guy that goes up there. I'm more visual. If I see the ball, I'm just wondering, how is it? Is it sinking, running? Is it straight? And let's go. And, worry about that when it comes. I think there's a little too much of that going on. Analytics are good in certain ways, but most of the time, it's just for talk if you want the truth.
Yeah, it is kind of just stripping it down to the bare bones of going out there and hitting the ball. And for your clubhouse, you guys have such a unique mix. And you'd mentioned that with Japan, they stopped their league, and so that they have the best players going to be competing. But for MLB, they keep playing. And for Team USA Baseball, you have a mixture of vets. Yeah. Yourself, you've got Matt Kemp and Edwin Jackson and, Homer Bailey, all these guys. And then these guys that have really never or maybe haven't had a real taste of the majors yet, or maybe never will. You don't know. Yeah. What's the clubhouse vibe like?
Oh, it's great. It's great. They call all of us, the guys that you just said, they're calling us the old men and making fun of us for the song choices that we listen to on the bus. I'm yelling at them to change the radio station. I don't understand the rap they listen to. It's nonsense to me. Whatever. We have a good time. It's after games we're having a few cocktails like we're here to have it now, and playing some cards. And I'm trying to teach these young kids that don't mess with the bull, because I've been doing these card games for a long time. So you want to save your tokens for maybe somebody else. So we have a great time. We came together really quick as a good unit, and we got some stud young guys. These guys, top prospects. I want to let them know, listen, because this is my third go-around playing for a USA team. This one is probably the biggest one, most definitely. And you have to give it your all from first pitch to last pitch. And you're going to be downright exhausted after every game, because the crowd's going to be crazy. Every pitch, you're going to be yelling at the umpires, this and that, and everything that goes with it. And, it's totally different, but it's so much fun. And these young guys got some power, man. And it's fun to watch them batting practice.
Yeah, that is really fascinating. And, Todd, you really emanate just a real excitement. It almost feels, it's like your first day at school, maybe your first game in the majors or something like that. And I love seeing that, because you've had already just such an incredible career. This year alone, I heard it on that podcast that you were on, but if you can explain to everyone, you went from playing with the Pirates to then now playing with Team USA in a very short period of time. Also, we were dealing with the pandemic. Maybe some fans, maybe not some fans. This whole year has been 2 years has been a bit crazy. Take me through how you've dealt with everything and how you feel through this sort of, roller coaster in a way.
Yeah, it's been difficult, to be honest. I was looking for a team, and it took a while to finally find a team out, and it came down to 2 teams, and the Pirates were basically the best team, to be honest with you, and they were graciously enough to have me on their team. But I got sent they basically released me out of spring training. I'm looking for a team after that, and nobody wanted me after that, so I went back to the Pirates, and I'm like, this is my best bet. I know the coaches. Got called up, sent me down after a guy got injured. I was going to play his position. I felt great about the whole situation. That's the nature of the beast. Sent me away. It was left a little bad blood inside, but things happen for a reason. I had a week to prepare, and hour later after I got released, Paul Seiler, CEO of USA, calls me up. We still want you. I said, I'm coming. I'll be there in a week. The rest was history. So I always have a plan B. I always look to have a backup plan, and luckily everything happened at that time.
Yeah, luckily you were able to fall back on going to the Olympics in this particular year. Not too shabby, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we have had a great start here on Drinks with Binks with Todd Frazier. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll have a whole lot more on the other side.
I'm Luke Voigt, and I had Drinks with Binks.
Welcome back into Drinks with Binks. I'm JSB, joined by baseball player Todd Frazier. We're drinking a little beer. You got to put yours up too, yeah?
There
so it's not just me getting hammered while I talk to you. Mm-hmm. Not a bad concept, but...
No, not at all.
We got some Tom's River beer there as well. And just quickly before we get into a little bit more about your career, but the fact is, 1998, Tom's River team won the Little League World Series against Japan. And in a way, does it feel as though everything's sort of coming full circle with you going to Japan and maybe beating Japan?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that would be the icing on the cake, besides, I wish I won a World Series, but at the same time, imagine playing them in the finals, and maybe one of those guys was on that team. So I mean, it would be pretty impressive to finish off my career. Maybe, hopefully not. I get to play in major leagues again, but to finish off with a gold medal and beating Japan again, that would be awesome. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say my nephew, I should say, he's 12 years old now. His team has a really good shot at making it to Williamsport here. They have some studs. And Tom Jaree's Little League, watch out, they're coming. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, we'll put that one on the radar. So just quickly, you're hoping maybe a gold medal in Tokyo could be a boost toward teams that are looking to add some depth to their roster.
Without a doubt, and honestly, I thought, because I had some of the best 5 games I've played in a couple of years. Another team would be calling, but nothing happened. So I'll just go out there and dominate again, win a gold medal, and if something happens to make a playoff push for somebody, that would be even better. It'd be even sweeter. So I'll just keep on doing what I'm doing, and that's all I can ask myself.
I love it. Well, speaking of playoff pushes, back in 2017, you guys were with the Yankees, a part of the infamous Astros cheating scandal that they ended up winning the World Series that year. When you kind of look back on that moment, what kind of feelings do you have, years later?
Yeah, disappointment. Wish we could have won. Not happy about what they did. Honestly, it's frustration. I'm still upset about it, and I know all those guys are too, because that was a really good chance for us. We knew we had the better team, and I still think we did. It's tough. That was like I said, right after, I said that could have been my only shot at making it to the World Series, and basically it was. So, it's something that, those guys are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. I think they got off scotch-free. I think Manfred didn't do a really good job of what was supposed to be done. You got guys like Pete Rose, who it's been over 25, 30 years of him betting on baseball. Give the guy a break, but you let these guys off with a slap on the wrist, and that's that. Frustrated, and it's really not fair at the end of the day. So what are you going to do? Can't do anything about it now.
Yeah, how could you not be upset with that moment, especially with the fact that it could have led you to a World Series. So I can't imagine what that feeling is like.
Yeah.
In terms of MLB now, they're cracking down on substances that pitchers have been using. And Tyler Glasnow was saying that the sunscreen he was using actually led to injury by not using it. So what do you think about using these substances, like banned substances? Do you think there should be any kind of substances being able to be used for pitchers?
Yeah, I think they need, and this is a big problem with MLB. They're worrying about some stuff that honestly they shouldn't even be going close to. They need to worry about other things in baseball, besides sticky stuff. I think pitchers need it. I think honestly, if they came together, the smart thing would be coming together, getting one substance that they know these pitchers can use, so you're going to see a lot more guys getting hit by pitches. You're going to see guys with injuries like Tyler Glasnow. Honestly, I think guys need some kind of, sticky substance, nothing, not pine tar or something crazy on that level, but there's got to be a happy medium for these guys because the balls are slick. Even if you rub them up at the end of the day, as they dry out over the course of the games or the day, they're going to be slicker. And honestly, people worried about, spin rate and all that kind of stuff. Listen, they're still going to throw hard. Is it going to be more effective? Of hurting people at the end of the day. So I'm looking out for people's health. And another thing of MLB, just trying to be crazy about the situations here. There's got to be a substance where every pitcher can say, hey, here's this. This is the only thing you can use and go from there. So yeah. I think there's got to be a happy medium.
Make it uniform across the league.
Yeah.
See that. Okay, so one quick question before we go to break. You played for both the Yankees and the Mets. The Mets are doing very well in the NL East. The Yankees not doing so great in the AL East. Who do you think wins a World Series next of the two?
You're putting me on the spot there. Honestly,
yeah.
I think the Yankees will be just fine. That's the ebbs and flows of the season. I think the Mets are on their way. I think they're getting closer. If I had to choose one right now, I would go, I would go with the Yankees, I think, right now. I think, with the injuries the Mets have, I think that's really tough to say that they're going to win, especially having 16 injuries to start the year. I love both teams, but if I had to pick one right now, I think the Yankees have the best shot. I think they'll be just fine. I think the Mets will be fine too as well. I would love a Subway Series and make me look good at the end of the day of my decision.
Yes, I know. It just feels like the Yankees, like they usually figure it out to a point at least. Yeah. And then with the Mets, it's like they just combust. They're like always just going to just ruin it at the last second. Sorry to Danielle, who works on our staff and is a big Mets fan. I'm a Blue Jays fan, and we got Vladdy, so that's all we got. But you know what we got here? We've got a whole lot more with Todd Frazier here on Drinks with Binks. We'll be back after this quick little timeout. Welcome back to Drinks with Binks. I'm Julie Stewart Binks, and we've got future Olympian for Team USA, Todd Frazier, with us here today. So we are going to be playing an Olympic game. It's Todd Frazier's Olympics. Boom, 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 boom. Don't worry, I won't sing the Olympic song because we don't have the rights to that. So we have gold, silver, and bronze for each topic. You got that?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we got.
Rank your choices of greatest Yankees of all time: gold, silver, and bronze. Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, and Mickey Mantle.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with gold, Babe Ruth, silver, Mickey Mantle, bronze, Lou Gehrig.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, they all medal. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's a tough one there. Listen, Babe Ruth is a beast, eating hot dogs before games and still hitting 3 home runs. I mean, you can't not have him as number one, and drinking beer like we're doing right now. I mean, I don't know how they do it. Mickey Mantle, phenomenal. Luke, God, those last two are tough, but I would always go with Babe Ruth as number one.
Okay, Salt and the SWAT gets numero uno. Okay, greatest Mets of all time: gold, silver, or bronze. Tom Seaver, David Wright, Jacob deGrom.
Well, oh man, I'm Jacob deGrom's going to be the best Met of all time, that's for sure. So I'm going to give him the gold. I'm going to go. Oh man, I will go with David Wright, then Tom Seaver. So. I'll give David the slight edge there. Just because he's a hitter, I got to give the edge to the hitter there. You can't give two pitchers, in my opinion. And
balance it out a bit.
balance it out.
Well, DeGrom's been hitting real well too.
I know he's got a better average than me, so that's saying a lot.
Well, maybe hopefully he'll be able to join Team USA soon. They won't.
Exactly.
We've got greatest Fraziers. Jeff Frazier, Charlie Frazier, Frazier Crane.
What was the last one?
Gold, silver, bronze. Frazier Crane from the hit show Frasier.
Yes.
Played by Kelsey Grammer.
So Jeff Frazier, Charlie Frazier, and oh man, that's unbelievable. So you got both my brothers in there. I mean, listen.
Must pick which brother is better.
I'm gonna go with Frazier Crane as gold, okay? Just because I'll get some heat for this. Silver, and this is the only reason I'm giving him silver, because he threw to me really well in the home run derby, my oldest brother Charlie. And I'll go bronze with my brother Jeff. He was my hype man. He's, he'll take it. He'll be fine with that. So that's how I'll do it.
Well, I mean, hey, that home run derby turned out pretty well for you, so.
No doubt.
Best Sinatra songs.
Ooh.
Gold, silver, bronze. Fly Me to the Moon.
Gold.
New York, New York. My Way.
I'm going to go My Way as silver and New York, New York third as the bronze. I love all those songs, but I've heard it. I've heard New York a lot when I used to go to the Yankees. Well, I played for Yankees a lot. So Fly Me to the Moon, that's my walkout song for years on end. So I got to give that the gold.
Just gets the.
You know what? And I'll give you a quick backstory quickly. My grandma used to play these songs back in the day at her house. I used to despise them and say, "Grandma, come on, play some upbeat music." And eventually she said, "Toddy, stop." She just called me Toddy. She said, "Toddy, no more. Shut your mouth. No more. We're listening to this music." And eventually it's like a fine wine. It just hit, and I loved every second of it. And then she passed away, and now it reminds me of my family and back in the day when I was young. It was pretty neat.
Oh, I love that. That's a really nice story. And I guess you probably won't have a walk-up song at the Olympics.
It'd be pretty cool. I mean, maybe do it in Japanese. I think that'd be my Fly Me to the Moon in Japanese. I'll ask. We'll see what happens.
You ask the IOC, Thomas Bach, see if he can get a walk-up song there. I mean, I'll push for that too. We need to get the crowd pumped up. Because there's going to be a crowd. We found that out today.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. 10,000 people.
Holy! All right. Now I'm more excited now. Let's go.
Yeah, they're all going to be cheering. Not for you.
Listen. There might be 100 people there that are representing us. You never know.
Okay, we got to go to break, but we'll have a whole lot more Todd Frazier on the other side. Don't go anywhere, guys. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on all social media at Fubo Sports. Guys, we've had an awesome time drinking and binking here with professional baseball player Todd Frazier, who is heading to the Olympics. Todd, where can we find everything you're doing next?
Yeah, I mean, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at FlavorFrage, FRAZ21. I'm posting stuff about my kids, baseball, my newest adventures. I talked about my beer already, and that kind of stuff. I'm just following my oldest. He made his first All-Star team, 8 and under. Like I said, my nephew again is trying to dominate and get to Williamsport. It's their best year coming up, and that's it, man. That's pretty much me, and I'm just living every day of the moment and pinching myself every day, knowing I'm going to be an Olympian. I think that's a pretty cool thing to say, win, lose, or draw, but we're trying to go out there and win the gold for sure.
Well, we are very thankful for you joining us here on the show today. We wish you all the best luck. Hopefully you can come back on the show with the gold medal and tell us what it was like to be at one of the most unique experiences in the history of life, and especially the Olympics during this time. So thank you so much. And guys, you know where to find this episode if you want to rewatch it, or any of our other episodes on YouTube at Fubo Sports. And until next time, bottoms up, bitches.